This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO and one of the hardest working and smartest CEOs in the junior resource space, Miss Tara Christie. Tara, great to have you back on. How are you today?
Oh, I'm pretty excited. I've never felt better actually for Banyan. Here we are. We got cash in the bank. We got a team. We got a geological model. We're firing on all cylinders, and gold and silver price are, the wind at our back. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, listen, I would ask you if you've ever seen a gold market like this, but no one has. So I can answer that question, right, without having to ask it. With that being said, look, you deserve a lot of credit. You and your team deserve a lot of credit because when gold wasn't headed towards 5,000 or headed towards 4,000 or headed towards 3,000, you were adding a lot of value. And now, obviously, and the share price reflects this, right? You've been able to start to unlock. And I think it's important to emphasize that you've started to unlock the value that you've been able to add. But there is a lot to come. And you mentioned being cashed up. You're also now identifying extensive silver targets. You're also hitting multiple high grade pockets. So it's like the perfect storm for a gold silver company with the resource base that you have with the backdrop of this $5,000 gold price. Can we talk about what you've done here over the past several quarters to prepare for this? And then of course we got to talk about what comes next, right?
Absolutely. So, last year's drill program, 43,000 meters, we still have results from over 100 holes to come. They were targeted at mostly gold, and you saw in the press release we put out a couple of days ago some of our silver holes. We have a few more to come. We didn't target a huge amount at silver last year because remember, silver didn't move till late in the year, and we were so focused on our gold we hadn't put together our model on these silver veins until late. So lots of results, and I remind people the silver is an add-on. We have a very substantive gold project, as you know, and we put out that new resource last year with 2.2 million ounces of indicated, 5.5 million ounces of inferred, with a new, more lithologically constrained resource, which the market liked, and people have a lot more confidence and can see the continuity of the high grade. So that, is really a great basis for us to have drilled those holes last year looking for that. So yeah, gold on top. Every silver hole we've been drilling is also targeting gold. So got 3 zones for that silver within a broad area, 3 kilometers by 2 kilometers, which we think is structurally and lithologically prospective. That one zone, 14,000 grams per ton, that's pretty exciting. and over a short interval, but within a big interval of 300 grams over 100 meters. So this isn't, and now that we've hit it over 15 times, it's not just one hit. That's a pattern that's starting to come together, and it's starting to become statistically significant. What we need to do is find one or some of these veins that either alone or collectively has enough volume to be significant, and they're within 100 meters of surface. So pretty exciting. We're going to start drilling here again. We're opening our camp in February, so that's less than a month away now. And then we'll have 4 drills turning in March, focusing on getting 40,000 meters drilled at Ormac. Plus, we're going to do a little bit of drilling at our Nitra property and our Highland property. But, the main focus is really driving the economics of Ormac. We'll have our resource update in the second quarter of 2026, followed pretty shortly in the second half by a PEA. And I think that timing of that's going to be pretty exciting.
I mentioned the value you were able to add during a bear market with limited resources, right? I mentioned you being one of the smartest and hardest working junior resource CEOs in the space. And I don't say that just to be flattering. I say that because I saw you work through a tough bear market with a limited treasury. Can you remind people the treasury where it stands now? Because I'm really excited to see you work with a bull market and the kind of capital that you have behind you now.
Well, we've got just under 38 million, so pretty strong treasury going starting the year. It lets us plan our whole program, and to be able to plan this far in advance because you know how much money you have is is what every CEO wants to be doing, but most of the time, you're scrambling to raise money. It's great to be really focused on the geology and the targeting and getting our results back and getting out there and talking to shareholders, because I'm, going and talking to happy shareholders, getting new shareholders. That's certainly a lot more fun than when you're worried about not having money.
2026 is going to be, I believe, a transformational year for Banyan. Congrats on the hard work up until now. I am excited to see what 2026 is able to provide in terms of shareholder value. Anything to add to that?
No, my team is so enthusiastic and driven. I think it's going to be a great year in 2026. And I'm, of course, as committed as ever, with an even more clear vision of how we're going to generate that value for our shareholders. So appreciate all those that supported us through the tough times and the new shareholders that are joining us. My vision is to create value for everybody, and for one day for this to be a mine. So thank you very much.
Tara, thank you for your time as always. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.